I am happy to join with you today in what will go down in history as the greatest demonstration for freedom in the history of our nation. I am happy. I have a dream.
I got a dream.
One day.
We gonna work it out.
One day.
We gonna work it out.
One day.
We gonna work it out.
I have a dream.
I got a dream.
One day.
We gonna work it out.
One day.
We gonna work it out.
One day.
We gonna work
I
it out.
have a dream.
My dream is to be free.
Martin Luther King will always be remembered as the voice of the civil rights movement in America. His words touched a generation and inspired many to join in the right for racial equality. The history of American civil rights can be traced as far back as the creation of the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. These binding documents guarantee all men liberty and justice in the proclamation that all men are created equal. The promise began to be fulfilled when in 1820 the spread of slavery was stopped with the Missouri Compromise. Blacks, however, were treated far from equals, as is evident in the Dred Scott decision, in which the Supreme Court denied a slave living in free territory his freedom. The spirit of equality continued to resonate across the country, eventually culminating in the bloodiest war this country has ever seen. The Civil War was a battle between North and South, but it was also a battle over black and white. Many free blacks volunteered to fight in hopes of a free nation.
Because I have a dream that my 4 little children will one day live in a nation where they will not be judged by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. I have a dream today.
The country's sacrifice was not in vain, as President Abraham Lincoln emancipated the slaves in one of the most significant acts in our nation's history. In the court case, Plessy v. Ferguson, the government showed that although free blacks were not treated equal. Blacks were later integrated into white schools with the passage of Brown v. the Board of Education decision. Brave blacks were pioneers through the movement, enduring persecution and hostility in the case of the Little Rock Nine. With the martyrdom of Dr. King and the passage of the Civil Rights Act, the movement still carries on today as many continue the long fight for racial equality.
That my pop swallow bottle me. No apology, I walk with a boulder on my shoulder. It's a cold war, I'm a colder soldier. Hold the same fight that made Martin Luther the king. I ain't using it for the right thing. In between lean and the fiends, hustle and the schemes, I put together pieces of a dream. I still have one.
I got a dream.
One day.